Boxing champion Devin Haney is back in the spotlight, but this time the headlines have nothing to do with his undefeated record or his championship belts. Instead, the 25-year-old fighter is making news for a bitter legal feud with his ex-fiancée, Leena Sayed. The latest twist in this ongoing saga? Haney has filed a lawsuit demanding the return of more than $350,000 worth of luxury gifts he claims he gave to Sayed during their relationship. That's right, items like designer handbags, expensive jewelry, and other high-end goods are now being dragged into a courtroom fight that has fans asking one big question. How did a fairy tale romance between a rising boxing superstar and a glamorous social media influencer collapse into lawsuits, restraining orders, and accusations of abuse? To understand the drama playing out today, we need to rewind and look at how this relationship unfolded. Devin Haney, nicknamed The Dream, rose to fame at a young age. By his early 20s, he was already a world champion, celebrated for his lightning-fast hands and slick boxing style. Outside the ring, Haney lived the life of a modern athlete celebrity: luxury cars, designer fashion, and a high-profile social circle. It was during this period that he began dating Leena Sayed, a woman who quickly became a familiar face in his public image. Their relationship was the kind of flashy romance fans have come to expect from young stars. Social media posts showcased vacations to exotic locations, dinners in upscale restaurants, and the kinds of lavish gifts that only someone with a million-dollar career could afford. From Cartier bracelets to Birkin bags, Leena appeared to live a life of luxury by Haney's side. But behind the glamorous photos, cracks began to show. According to Sayed, their relationship turned toxic, with arguments escalating into alleged physical abuse. She filed for a restraining order in mid-2025, claiming multiple incidents of mistreatment across a 16-month period. The most shocking allegation came from December 2024, when she said Haney, during an argument over her phone, shoved her while she was 9 months pregnant. She claimed she fell and injured her tailbone, fearing not only for herself, but for the safety of her unborn child. Their daughter, Chrome Iman Haney, was born in January of 2025. For a brief moment, it looked like the birth of their child might bring stability to the relationship. But by the spring, tensions had escalated again. Sayed pursued legal action, citing ongoing emotional distress and claiming Haney tried to control her access to support. She painted herself as a young mother facing intimidation from a world-famous athlete. On the other hand, Haney categorically denied the allegations. He responded with his own lawsuit in August 2025, accusing Sayed of defamation, extortion, and intentionally causing emotional distress. In his version of events, Sayed fabricated stories of abuse as leverage, using both the media and the courts to pressure him into more favorable custody and financial arrangements. Haney's legal filings claimed she even threatened reputational damage unless he increased financial support. And now, in September of 2025, comes the latest bombshell. Devin Haney is suing to reclaim luxury gifts worth over $350,000. This includes high-end handbags, expensive jewelry, and potentially more items not yet detailed in court records. Haney's position is that these were not unconditional gifts. Instead, he's arguing that because the relationship ended, the items should be returned. So what does the law say about all this? Well, in most cases, a gift is just that, a gift. Once you give it, it's gone. But there are exceptions. Engagement rings, for example, are often treated differently in court. If a marriage doesn't happen, some jurisdictions allow the ring to be reclaimed. Haney's legal team may be trying to argue that these luxury goods fall into a similar category, or that they were given under circumstances that make them conditional. Still, this is far from a guaranteed win. Courts don't usually like the idea of combing through the remains of a romance to figure out who owes what. For the public, the optics are messy. Some fans see Haney as a man standing up for himself, refusing to let his ex-fiancée take advantage of his wealth. Others see it differently, questioning why a multi-million-dollar athlete would drag the mother of his child to court over handbags and jewelry. To critics, it looks petty, even vindictive. Social media has been on fire since the news broke. On Twitter and Instagram, boxing fans debate whether Haney's lawsuit is justified, or if it's a distraction from bigger issues like the abuse allegations and his role as a father. Some defend him, saying he's a young man protecting what's his. Others accuse him of trying to humiliate his ex-partner in public. And the timing couldn't be worse for Haney's professional life. Later this year, in November, he's scheduled to fight Brian Norman Jr., the WBO welterweight champion, in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This is one of the biggest fights of his career, an opportunity to cement his place as a dominant force in the sport. But instead of headlines about his training camp, he's making news for his courtroom drama. It raises an important question. How does a star athlete balance a multi-million-dollar fight camp with legal battles involving restraining orders, defamation claims, and property disputes? For Haney, every headline about his personal life threatens to overshadow his professional achievements. And then there's the human element, their daughter. At the heart of this bitter feud is a baby girl who one day will be able to read all of these headlines. Custody, visitation, and child support remain tied up in this battle, making the stakes far greater than jewelry and handbags. This isn't just about money. It's about who gets to shape the narrative of their daughter's upbringing. Observers have pointed out that this isn't the first time a celebrity breakup has turned into a courtroom war. From Hollywood stars to superstar athletes, we've seen countless examples of private relationships turning into public spectacles when money, fame, and reputation collide. But what makes this case unique is the speed and intensity with which it has escalated. Within less than a year of their daughter's birth, Devin Haney and Leena Sayed have gone from a high-profile couple to sworn legal enemies. As the case moves forward, the court will have to decide whether Haney has any right to reclaim the luxury items he says belong to him. Will the judge see them as conditional gifts tied to the relationship? Or will they side with Sayed, ruling that a gift is a gift, no matter how expensive? At the same time, the courts must also weigh the abuse allegations, the defamation claims, and the complex issues of custody and support. For now, one thing is clear. This story is far from over. Every new filing, every new statement, and every new court appearance adds fuel to a fire that shows no signs of dying down. And as Haney prepares to step into the boxing ring in November, the bigger fight may not be against Brian Norman Jr. It's the ongoing battle to protect his reputation, his finances, and his role as a father. In this case, the punches aren't just being thrown inside the ring. They're being thrown in courtrooms, on social media, and in the headlines of every major outlet. The world of sports loves a comeback story, but right now, Devin Haney isn't fighting just for titles. He's fighting for his name, his legacy, and his future. And trust me, this one is one fight that no one will win cleanly.